Consider this video prequel to a video that I'm going to probably be uploaded on Wednesday about a certain topic that I want to be talking about, but this is connected in the sense that what I'm going to be talking about in that next video that's probably going to be out on Wednesday is to do with just playing tournaments and whatnot. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But regardless, we got some Gen 4 NU here today. Like I said in the previous video about me trying to play these Gen 4 Grand Slam tournaments, I think I got knocked out of LC anyway, and then I didn't apply for the rest. I just completely forgot. But DPP NU's a tier that I've always wanted to actually play, like even back in the day. Like back in the day when I was playing Gen 4 PU and we didn't even have a dedicated builder for that, so we all had to challenge each other back in the day in Gen 4 NU. And to be honest, I've never played this tier before, but I did know from the NU team builder back when we used to play Gen 4 PU was that some of these mons are not available in PU because they'll be freaking broken, like Regirock or Typhlosion, or even some banned ones like Regigigas and Articuno. But yeah, I actually get to play this tier that I was using the builder for all the way back in Generation 7. But yeah, we're up against our opponent here, Hammer 798, and I'm just like, cool. Obviously I didn't really have time to build anything, being a very hectic week of course, so I just stole some teams. So yeah, be on the lookout for a video about that. Like, I'm not gonna spoil too much of what I'm gonna say in that video, but it's just a thing where yeah, I'm going to be discussing something along those lines. Just taking other people's teams and using them in tournament is honestly quite a good thing to do. But yeah, before we get into the replays, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. We're on our way to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Only need 13 people to subscribe, much appreciated. But yeah, so DPP NU, took some teams. Like, if I actually did have the time or I could bother, I could probably make some decent teams in this tier. But why do that when I could just find some teams that I can trust from a reliable source? But anyway, let's start off with the replays here. And it seems that we both have a Sharpedo lead. Seems like this is a common thing to see in DPP NU, Sharpedo lead with a Focus Sash. Don't know why it's such a good lead, but I guess it just does a lot of damage to the other leads. As you can see, a Sharpedo can actually just 1v1 each other, assuming you win the speed tie. So Cradily comes out and this thing just takes no damage, and the team that I got had a freaking horrific Cradily matchup. Is actually insane. Looking back at it in hindsight though, because I did go over this replay after the game, is a best of 3 after all, so I still have 2 shots to win the set anyway. But like, looking back at this replay, I was just like, cool, I probably played around this Cradily a bit stupidly. But to be fair, there was only like one mon on my team that actually dealt with it properly, which was this Life Form Magneton set, which surprisingly I did not realize was actually Rest Talk Life Form Magneton, which is a pretty interesting set, all things considered. But yeah, as you can see, they sub up, and I'm just like, as for Def Regirock, surely Manectric isn't that much of a threat. But T-Bot actually does some good free KO damage just because it's Life Orb, of course. And we get out the Perma Rocks because, as you know, pre-Gen 6 removal in the lower tiers practically doesn't exist. So yeah, we bring Manectric sub here, and I'm just like, cool, Manectric is gonna die to the next attack, but I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna go Magneton because T-Ball is gonna still 2-hit KO me, but it's not like I had any other switch-ins on my team. I can't even remember the team that I had because obviously it's no team preview, so I can't obviously show the rest of the members. But yeah, I'll remember it in due course. But yeah, we have Tauros here, Scarf Tauros here. Tauros is one of the top mons in DPP NU from what I could see, so yeah, it's good to see this mon. But they do have Fizdef Slowking, which is also another top tier mon in DPP NU, and I'm just like, cool, how am I going to break this Slowking now? Obviously I have to use my Magneton, but as you can see, my Magneton's HP is pretty much gone. So yeah, we're just like, I have to deal with the Cradily, and I also have to deal with the Fizdef Slowking. But yeah, so Skuntank comes out, I 1v1 that. Paralysis being 75% speed reduction. Pre-Gen 6 is just craziness. Pre-Gen 7 actually, Gen 6 is still 75%. But yeah, we beat the Skuntank due to hacks there, but like, we still have to deal with this stupid Cradily. If I had Toxic on one of my mons, I mean, it would have been nice, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this mon's very annoying to deal with. But yeah, so the issue is, like, even at this stage of the game, I probably could have just gone hard Magneton. Like, assuming they recover here, for example, I could have just rested, but I decided to stay in because I didn't even clock my Magneton set. So maybe it was actually possible to beat the Cradily, but I did not really think. I was basically just clicking. I was hardly calcing either. again, it just goes to show how seriously I was actually taking this. But yeah, usually if I'm actually like caring about a game, I typically just calc anyway. But yeah, Magneton should have definitely come out on some of these turns, rested up, and then I just beat, you know, Slowking and Cradily with Electric Steel Stab. But yeah, there's not much else to go over in this replay. We do have Haunter here, which, to be fair, I should have not subbed. I should just be attacking this, but Spadaf Cradily can even handle Haunter quite reliably as well, so that's the annoying thing. Like 36 after leftovers, that's like a 4-hit KO. Like, do you know how ridiculous that is? And I'm just like, cool. Probably could have kept my Haunter around for the Fizz Def Slowking for sure. But yeah, at this point, I'm just like, cool. I definitely was not playing this game 1 properly. Like, even if we skip here, like, they had a Medicham in the back. If I kept my Haunter alive for the Scarf here, it would have come in clutch very much. But yeah, as you can see, the game was lost. I was like, cool, time to lock into game 2. Because at this point, like, in my competitive Pokemon, like, playing, career, whatever, I've been playing this game since Generation 6. And I'm just like, cool, I've definitely gotten better at the game. But it's a thing where if I'm playing all of these Grand Slam tournaments or circuit tournaments for any format, and I'm just like, cool, assuming I have a solid team on my hands, whether I'm building that team or I stole that team from someone else or someone just gave me the team, is a thing where, like, if we both have competent teams, the opponent and I should always win because I'm the better player. That's my mindset going into this. Like, in my head, I'm just like, I'm better than this guy. I know I'm better than him. So obviously I looked in game 2 and 3 and I was just like, cool, it's time to actually bring some teams that maybe won't get loose to Cradily if I decide to not play with my brain on. But yeah, cool. Moving on to game 2. This game went pretty fun. Nidoqueen lead as well. I don't know. I was like, is this guy stealing teams as well? Like, in my head, I was just like, is this guy stealing teams? Well, obviously, I win the speed tie, or maybe this Nidoqueen is too slow. But regardless, they got rocks. I didn't bother taunting because I was just like, cool, I don't really care if rocks are up. We're both going to have 12% on our rock neutral mons anyway. So yeah, they go Slowking here, and I'm like, cool, yeah, Nidoqueen has no business staying in. I go Skuntank here. The nicknames are inspired by something. Someone can let me know down below if, you know, they actually get that. By Pursuit Trap, and it just goes to show how bulky Fizz Def Slowking is to be taking 45 from a double powers Pursuit. Kind of crazy in my opinion. But I go Nidoqueen here because I'm just like, I don't need it, excuse me, for anything. And yeah, I decided to taunt Regirock just in case they go for, I don't know what else they would have gone for. They already rocked up, so I'm just like, cool, maybe taunt wasn't the play. But like, in case it was Curse or some garbage, like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't play DPPNU like that. But yeah, I go Magneton, and Magneton decides to put in the most amount of work, like, ever, to be honest. Like, I go for the substitute, and like, it's already looking Raps versus Hitmonchan anyway. They do have Mach Punch though, so obviously the crit was pretty big, to be fair, because I just O-code that guy. Like, double crits, bring that shit back, man. We need that shit back. But yeah, they go for Crunch, which is resisted by Steel because Steel was a broken type pre-Gen 6. And yeah, I think they low rolled there because as you see in the next subsequent turns, I decided to sub again, and Crunch was able to break the sub. So like, they obviously got the high roll here, and I was like, cool. So I kill Skuntank, and I'm just like, well, this is a team that's 6-0'd by Magneton once Nidoqueen's dead. And like, cool, they go Regirock, and I'm just like, yep, that's gonna die to Flash Cannon. I probably could have clicked T-Bolt, to be fair. I think T-Bolt was killing. Again, I was not calcing anything, like, so I have to deal with Drifblim now. But I'm just like, Drifblim with the HP ground doesn't even kill me because Magneton's goated like that. And yeah, that's cool. I didn't even know Magneton was down in DPP-NU, to be fair, because like, Zone is OU, but I thought Magneton was like UU or something. But I guess there isn't really many steals in DVP you want to be trapping anyway, because like, most of them suck. But yeah, so cool, I just win the game here, quick 17 turns, and you know, I'm just like, cool, we stole a pretty solid team there. And then for game 3, we stole another solid team here. So we got Floatzel lead versus Sharpedo, and you know, I go for Surf because I know Sharpedo is frail like that. I get the crit though, doesn't kill. It doesn't really matter anyway because it was going to be focus / guaranteed. So yeah, cool. Sharpedo versus Floatzel lead, just the water leads, and yeah, that dies. So I'm like, cool, I'm off to a very great start. They probably bring out the Scarf Taurus. Like, again, like, I don't even have to play this meta game to know that if that mon is coming out on me when it's slower than Floatzel, it's definitely Choice Scarf. Like, it's just common knowledge that you play the game and you just know these things. But yeah, I go my Spadef Cradily. They unfortunately get the poison on me. Great stuff. But you know, Haunter, I'm not really too worried about Haunter because again, like I know their speed control options. Floats are still faster than a lot of stuff. They go out into their own Magneton here, and I'm just like, cool, I have Nidoqueen here, which is like some bulky, well, I say bulky, but it gets to it killed by Life Orb Magneton, so how bulky is it really? But cool, they go Slowking. I start with my rocks because I'm just like, I need that 12% up ASAP. You know how it is in these old gens. Get your hazards up ASAP. So I go Sharpedo on Slowking Surf because I know he's not going to actually OHKO me with anything. This is Expert Belt Sharpedo, which gets the flinch on Slowking. Don't know what if they're going to click T-Wave there. Regardless, I think I was in a bad spot if I didn't get that flinch. But, you know, Sharpedo is here to stay. They go Tauros again, and I'm like, cool, I literally have an immunity plus Cradily in the back as they do decide to go for the EQ. Does some decent damage. Like Cradely's stats even to this day are still quite good. Shame it's not an SV, but what can you do about that? Is it an SV? I actually don't know. Cradely's in Gen 9. Nah, it's not. I would have seen it at least once or twice. Yeah, it's not in Gen 9. But yeah, I go Tauros here. Tauros versus Tauros. I go Magneton. Now this was probably the most telegraphed Haunter switching ever, but it's not like again, I'm just clicking. Like I'm like, I have 6 Mons and they're like 2 Mons down. So I go into, you know, Nidoqueen here, you know, and I'm able to just like threaten the Haunter. They go for HP ground. I'm guessing it always has to be HP ground for the Skuntank. I don't kill with Ice Beam, which is unfortunate, but, you know, Nidoqueen's done his job. You know, Haunter, well, I keep it in the back as a potential sack. You never know when I might need it for, but, you know, unfortunately, Poison puts me in range of Haunter Sludge Bomb and Haunter dies because Life Orb kills it. So I'm just like, cool, that's fine. Half their team is dead. So I'm just like, cool, what could their last be? Regirock, and I go Tauros again. I'm just like, well, Tauros can eventually chip down Regirock. As you can see, Earthquake is doing 30%. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, they have no ground immunities. It's not like they're going to switch Magnetone, I said Magnetone, like Magnezone, Magneton in on EQ here. So I'm just like, cool. Like, at the end of the day, Sharpedo, Floats, or they all just come in and get the kill anyway. As long as I keep Sableye alive, it's not like I'm going to lose to a Scarf Tauros. So I'm not really worried about this game. It's pretty much over from this position. But they go for the Paraflinch, which is pretty funny, all things considered. But, you know, I'm not worried because I literally just go Floatzel. Or I even go Sharpedo. It doesn't really matter who I go. I can go Floatzel, whatever. Click Surf, get the kill. They'll go Tauros here, and then, you know, they're pretty much forced to click double it. I mean, Earthquake is more neutral. I don't think you ever click anything other than like Rock Slide, like any of your coverage options basically. But Rock Slide is way too weak compared to Earthquake, so I don't know why they didn't do that. I decided to Nightshade because that's consistent damage. I know they'll swap it out regardless. So even if Tauros is immune to that, I could just click that. And then they go for Rest, and I'm like, Rest? What am I even witnessing right now? Well, to be fair, it seems like Rest Magneton seems to do a lot of stuff. They get Sleep Talk T-Bolt, which is quite unfortunate. If they actually got Flash Cannon, I might have been in a bit of danger, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to RNG on, you know, Sleep Talk moves. And then at the same time, as long as I keep Sableye, I never lose to Tauros anyway. So I protect on the EQ, and I'm just like, cool, Nidoqueen, you've done your job. Like, good stuff. Obviously, Sharpedo and Tauros are actually gonna, Sharpedo and Floatzel are actually gonna die to EQ. So like I recovered here in case I got critted, because I'm not Will-O-Wisp on this. I would have just like, you know, done that. And to be fair, they could have just continued playing for crit, but I would have just Toxic into recover, stalled them. But again, I probably would have not forfeited there myself, because in that situation, if you get like one lucky crit, you probably just win there. So I probably would have not forfeited at that stage. But yeah, just some quick DPPNU games. Maybe if I feel like, maybe if I'm around at home to actually like record the next round of the DPPNU Open, I'll probably record my games. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.